you doing? Oh no, we're
fine.
live and she walked away. A good evening, everybody. This is our second live stream. Let us know if you can hear us okay. You know how the audio and video is because I'm fairly new to this. If you post. I would think that we're live right now. Baby is good, Skull says. Right on. Right on. Just checking my levels. Check.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Checkaroo. Checksky.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's kind of loud, huh? Yes. Looks so, right? Well, let's see. Let's do a welcome banner, huh? Because I want to play with that. How is everybody doing tonight? What do we have on here? Like 2 people? Banner, huh? Because I want to play with that. Got one watching, at least according to my info. And I believe it's Scully. Senor Curtis. I guess I don't need these on right now because I don't have anyone else on. And I can't hear myself through them anyways, so take them off for now. I would like to choose some moderators. Let's figure out how to do that. Scully for sure. Now, should I give you a managing or standard? What's the difference?
Give him the big guns.
Give them the big guns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably should because, I trust them. Scully's a managing moderator. Oh, let's turn on this fan, man. Thanks, Stevie. Kind of read that on the old phone here. I was thinking there was something else too, but so it's Monday, right? Oh, Jimmy's on. Hello,
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Skull. Hey, Dee Dee.
Definitely gonna make Jimmy a moderator if that's all right with you. He's gonna be a manager too because he's one of the big wigs here. Yeah.
As you were saying.
Case of the Mondays. Katie and I don't really have much of that problem because, well, Monday is one of our weekend days. We're fortunate enough to have Sundays and Mondays off together. We worked it out in our work schedules, and so that's our weekends. So today is kind of like our Sunday. Got a lot of stuff done this weekend, and some more footage, videoed a lot. We worked on the new tank. So we're going to kind of cover some of those topics if we can. I don't know. Don't have a lot of people in here, but maybe more will show up. But sometimes it's quality over quantity, right?
Always.
Passing Wind. I like that name. That's awesome. It's like a passing wind. It's soothing yet entertaining at the same time. Good stuff. Katie, what do you have to say?
Well, why don't we elaborate on our latest purchase?
Oh, okay. Me elaborate on it?
Well, I guess I can.
It was pretty much your purchase, so
Oh, yeah, it was my purchase. So, basically, something came across Facebook Marketplace finally that fit our needs. We were looking for a large tank, very, very large tank. And I came across a 210-gallon acrylic tank. And the background was already pre-included, 3D background.
Aqua Decor.
Yes, by Aqua Decor.
They're kind of spendy too.
Yeah. It was great background until we realized the problems it could cause if we should just happen to clean the tank and fill it up. It was pretty gross.
It was an older one. It's not their newest ones, which I believe are held on by magnets.
Well, you have a choice through there.
Well, this was one that was made out of styrofoam, hard silicone to the back of the tank. It had 2 chambers, one on each side. Let's get in the camera. 2 chambers. I believe for input output. But this person was running 2 filters on there, running an input and output on both, cross between the 2. What I didn't like is that it kind of restricted the flow. There were some vents through the rocks, but the tanks I like to keep, that we like to keep, I like to have a bigger flow through. And so I didn't like that. I noticed too that some of the background was chipping away, and you could see like the little styrofoam pieces in there. I didn't like that much either. And along the top, it was kind of decrepit where the
Like a
water line
scale.
was. Yeah, and it
It's gross.
melted away a little bit. It smelled funny, and
Smelled even worse.
because of all
later
those, yeah, all those things, we just kind of decided that we didn't want to go with that. I'm getting some red lights on our peaking on the audio here. Please bear with me. I'm going to change the input level a little bit. Using, that'd be something to go over. Any of you guys doing YouTube channels, it'd be kind of interesting to get to know like what methods you use, what cameras, what do you do for audio, what do you do for editing, things like that. Maybe we'll do that in a different live stream though. That'd be kind of cool.
But
So I'd like
back
to
to
learn.
the topic.
Back to the topic right here. Katie's new tank. So the background, we took that off today.
Completely removed the whole background. I was a little sad, but at the same time, I knew it was a good thing. Now I have to get the caulking taken off of the back.
Yeah.
It was siliconed, but it wasn't completely cured.
I think it was.
Part of it was.
There was a separate piece that looked like it fell off, and I think he used something like plumber's putty. It was really malleable and soft. Must use that to kind of fix it. But thankfully, whoever installed it didn't exactly follow the directions and put very little silicone on there. But it was enough to keep it good and solid, but thankfully it wasn't like smeared across it in a solid piece, because it would have been a nightmare. Hey, Vibes is here.
Hey, Vibes.
Can't stay in my club meeting. Blanket. Bye. thanks for stopping by, Vibes.
Yeah, thank you, Vibes.
So the background, some of the pieces fell off, but a majority of them were really stuck on there. We were trying to figure out what's the best way to get them off. Had some putty knives and whatnot, but it was pretty stuck on there. Thankfully, I had a set of wedges, plastic wedges that I bought. And they're basically to help take off like auto interiors inside of cars, pry apart panelings from the interior. And we used a rubber mallet and those to kind of tap in behind there, and you could like hear the silicone give way. It was really satisfying, little crackly sounds. And eventually got them all off. Unfortunately, we destroyed the background in the process, but it was pretty much destroyed to begin with anyways, like we said earlier. But this is an acrylic tank, so that's the only... Oh, you got a picture?
I got pictures. Should I show them?
You can try, but the thing is that camera doesn't like autofocus. Here, let me try. See if I can get it to focus on their phone. That's my arms kind of tapping in behind it. I don't know if they're looking at here. Oh, I gotta refocus. Oh, I gotta refocus. I'm using my Canon point and shoot camera. It's got a video. Oh, we're a little fuzzy still.
Did you turn the knob?
I had to show
sorry.
your picture. It's hard for that to show up. We shot some video to go along with kind of showing. We're going to put out a video showing the tank in a couple days here, so we'll include some of the pictures and the video of me tapping it off. But it's an acrylic tank, so I didn't have to worry too much about glass shattering. I was careful not to scratch. Used a rubber mallet, plastic wedges, and it all came off really well. It didn't take all that long, actually. But there's a lot of silicone left over, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of silicone.
Yeah.
That's not the only sad part, but it was seeing the rest go in the garbage.
Yeah, because, you know, it was a really cool looking background. It was, excuse me, it was like slate looking rock, kind of diagonal, long, thin pieces. It was really cool. I think originally it was, you know, beautiful, but anyone that knows Aqua Decor backgrounds, they do a good job. I'm sure it was expensive to begin with, so that's kind of the sad part too, that we just kind of destroyed it. Oh well.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
The smell. Oh my gosh, the smell.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty. Dee Dee's got to take off. Thanks for stopping by, Dee Dee.
Thanks,
we
Dee Dee.
appreciate it. We'll be doing more. Hopefully you can come by again. Have fun at work, if that's possible. Can you highlight some videos? Okay, what's passing wouldn't have to say. We agree with that. That was the other thing with this background. It took a lot of space.
Yeah.
You don't
like
just saying, if you don't want this in your ear right now, there's nobody else on with us.
Okay.
That way you'll help you hear yourself better. We're learning here, both of us. Background, it does take up a lot of room too.
It was probably close to 8-inch.
8-inch on some spots, 3 to 5, 8-inch.
6.
Yeah. But anyways, I agree. It takes up more room, and
that was my main concern, along with cleanliness, not being able to clean behind there, getting fish stuck behind there, and everything else.
Right. The other thing is, it's already pre-painted on the back He painted the sides too, which I guess we can deal with. It's plenty big. It's 6 foot long. So, and where we're going to have it at, it's not going to be that necessary to see it through the sides. So it'll work just fine.
Well, I already noticed a spot where something was hooked up or from us hauling it. There's a little bit piece of paint taken off of there. So I think it should be okay to take it off of there.
Cool. We'll try it out. We'll see. It's going to be a little while yet because we have to make a spot for it. I mean, we have a spot planned out, but we got to move the things out of the way for it and clean it completely. There's some sand in the bottom. As much as acrylic likes to scratch, from what I heard, we're going to try to use a shop vac to clean all that out. What's the biggest tanks that you guys have in here that are watching? Throw me out some numbers, because this is going to be our biggest tank. Before this tank, our 75-gallon was the biggest that we had. And it makes it look like a 10-gallon tank compared to this new one. You see chat's quicker on here than out there?
I haven't.
About the same.
Mm-hmm. Let's put the link up so if anybody wants to join, they can.
No, we should do that. Why not?
Well, hello.
Let's put a link.
I guess someone
Especially
behind on the
Jimmy's got to
game.
come online, maybe. Paste. There we go. Passing Wind's got a 75-gallon too.
Cool. What do you house in your 75-gallon Passing Wind?
There's a link if anyone wants to come on board, stream along with us. We can do that. That's always fun.
Nice go. Ooh, 115. Can't wait to see it.
I remember you talking about that plywood tank. I was thinking about building one. Of course, a lot of people that know about plywood tanks have probably watched Joey Mullen's channel where he builds one, and that's where I saw it. Gives a pretty good detailed explanation of how it works, and maybe one day we'll try it. I don't know. We do have a big garage to expand into maybe one day. I don't know. We'll try it out. It would be definitely fun to build one, wouldn't it? Maybe.
Once you have the room.
Yeah.
Don't push it.
Well, let's see. Introducing to everyone here, a big introduction because, all 7 of us. Let's welcome the one and only
Jimmy P!
Jimmy P.
Well, thank you for that. Hey, I just wanted to make connections with y'all real quick. I gotta go get my myself a drink, and I'll be right back. Okay?
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime.
You go right ahead.
I got some questions for you about your new tank.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
That makes it easier for us because, we've got some topics built up, but then, I don't always have the gift of gab that some people do to just come up with endless things to talk about. And, okay, maybe I do sometimes.
Are you referencing towards me for a reason?
No, not you. I'm just talking to you. I'm referencing some other people I know. But anyway, I like it when, people have questions. It's easier to come up with topics that way. Just shrimp in your 75-gallon? That's amazing. How many shrimp do you keep in that thing? Or, probably impossible to count, but
By now.
Okay, I'm back, but I'm gonna have to leave again because my granddaughter was in the kitchen, taking up all the room in there. So
Oh,
anyway, hey, first and foremost, I'm glad you got that tank home successfully and nothing bad happened on the way. That's great.
yeah,
And
that was
second,
a feat in itself.
yeah, I know, 6 feet wide. Okay, how tall and how deep? You
It's
know
over
how?
2 feet tall.
It's 2 feet front to back, I believe, 6 feet
Okay,
across, and it's probably, let's say, close to 30 or
38.
more. I didn't.
I think it's 38 inches.
oh my gosh.
Well, that's more than 3 feet. I don't think it's that tall. You know what? I can go take a measurement quick, unless you want to.
Well, I mean,
I'll
only if
take
you
it.
want. Only if you want to. I mean, you know.
Well, it's right on the other side of the door over here, so I do believe it's 2 feet front to back.
Well, you are right. That's going to make that
Upwards.
75.
Yeah, so do height on it. You gotta kind of give for the stand that it's on. But the stand is probably twice as heavy as that tank. I mean, it's an
Oh
acrylic
boy.
tank, so it probably only weighs about 250 pounds.
Okay. Okay.
It took my cousin and I to lift it. The stand is made out of 1/4 inch flat iron. It's just heavy duty, and
29 by 24 by 6
29 inches tall.
by 24.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
just about 30 inches tall.
My gosh, you're right. That's a little bigger than your 75.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, we've had it in the garage now a week because it was a week ago today that we picked it up, right?
Yeah.
Monday. But the first couple days, I mean, every time I walk out there, I'm not expecting to see it. And we just kind of shouted every time walking into the other part of the garage to grab a beverage. And we go, whoa, that's huge. Just shouting because we're just really excited
great.
about it.
That's great. And just like you did some of your other setups, I'd really like to see like a beginning to end deal on this one.
Well, we're planning on it. Like I said, I do have some footage. We got to the place. Hold on 1 second. Let's get Scully on here real quick.
Oh, I can't get rid of that.
He didn't get the introduction you did, but
Woohoo! Hey, Skull.
I mean, it's a man that needs no introduction, right?
That's right. And he's my little brother. Just for the record, he's my little brother.
Oh, good.
Not really, but yes, he's my little brother. Yeah.
I get it. For sure.
Yeah.
When we went to pick up this tank, what was really cool, and I'd like to keep tabs on this guy, we walked in and I saw the tank. It was in his walkout basement, but right behind it, he had 2 other huge monster tanks, and right next to the sliding glass door, he had a smaller, probably had him in like a 40 or a 50 with a puffer fish in it, a pea puffer. It was just beautiful. But this guy has fish, and we asked him, well, how many tanks do you have? And he said, I think about 20 or so. And we only saw those 3, so he must have had others in the house. But I got there, and we backed up to the door, and I asked him, hey, can I do some recordings? We do a YouTube channel, and it seemed like he was a little bit awkward about it, and he's like, well, you can outside the house, but not in the house. And so at that point, I'm like, that's okay, no problem. I decided not to record anything, just wanted to get the tank out and load it up because it was getting to be close to dark. But it'd be cool, I think, to try and get a hold of him again and see if we can't go visit his house and do kind of like an interview thing or something and tour the tanks because his fish were beautiful. I almost got distracted from buying the tank. I wanted to go look at his aquariums, and ask him what kind of fish he got here. But he was definitely an enthusiast.
Yeah, that would be,
That would be like totally awesome to see all of his tanks. He only had 3 down in the basement. I can only imagine
we
what he had
saw.
upstairs.
Right. Well, there's other rooms too, but it was kind of a big, large, open.
Yeah, and
Family
both him
space.
and his wife were into him. She's like, "This is my pea puffer tank, and with my guppies," and I'm like, "Wow."
Hang on. Somebody's knocking. Okay.
Don't open the door, Jimmy.
Who's knocking?
Knock knock. Who's there?
There's no way that Joey's here watching the video, is he?
He pops into people's videos. I've seen him in other ones.
I was busy talking, and Katie's like grabbing my arm, pointing at it, and yeah, that's awesome. Welcome,
Oh.
Joey. Glad you're here, man.
Hope we're not too boring for you.
No. I would not be here if you were boring. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm
That's
worried
for
I might drag your show down. That's my problem.
Nah. I wouldn't be worried about that.
No, that was my my lovely Patricia locked herself out. So
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I should have let her stay out there a while, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Well, Wilma did it to Fred, right? On Flintstones.
She's got food and water out there. She'd be all right. Hey, I got an obvious question. You may have talked about this before, even before you got the tank, but what plans do you have for this big tank of yours?
Oh, gosh.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been a debate back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Conversation, debate.
Conversation, debation. You know, they kind of merge together. I want big fish in the tank. And Jake is like, well, what about a planet tank with a bunch of small fish?
Oh, boy.
And I'm going back and forth between the two, but I really want my big fish.
You know, since we got the size, it does make sense. Since we do keep a couple fish that are eventually going to get really big, we had the plans when we bought them to buy the tank, and you know that's a no-no because life can get in the way. We may not buy that tank, and we actually came across it, which we lucked out.
Mm-hmm.
So we have fish that are going to get too big for the homes they're in now, and it would be nice to have some bigger fish.
Yeah.
So that's probably the route we're going to get.
Sounds like
Two
Katie
buddies.
wins. Yeah.
Well, it's her tank, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, then she shouldn't have even given you a vote. What the heck are we
Really?
talking about?
I love
you know,
that, Jimmy.
it's my garage, so.
Oh, my gosh.
It's both of our garages.
That's
Hey, listen, you crazy kids. Everything belongs to both of you. Come on now. Let's go.
It does, and the lease says so. So.
Well,
It's
hey,
not
I think that's a good idea. You know, you can do some other project later on down the line for the smaller fish, you know, but something that size, yeah, it's going to be a perfect home for the bigger guys, you know.
You can build you that plywood tank. Just make a small one so that you
Yeah.
know how to do it.
Yeah, there you go,
Right.
Jake.
Exactly. Yeah. But
The-
I'll go on the record that if
Mhm.
I was
Random?
given the choice to have a big tank with big fish or a big tank with little fish, I would take the little fish just because I just love that massive look of a big school of fish going around, you know.
Well,
But
there's
that-
my
that-
dilemma.
That's me.
Yeah.
No. I
We
think you're
both
making the
love
right
that.
I think you're making
That
the right
was-
decision though. I do.
For sure,
Yeah.
because we do have the 75 and
Right.
another
Yeah.
29 gallon that isn't being used, and
Yeah,
so we
I
can do some small fish in there. But that was the point I brought up to her too, Jimmy. Was that wouldn't it be cool to see a lot of these small fish swimming together in a school? And
You'll do it. I know you will. So yeah.
there's might be a little more room for another tank in the future, and we can
There
try
you
that
go.
one too. Why not?
Yeah, you're in no hurry. I can tell you guys know what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
taking your time doing it the right way.
The other part of having a
You
big
gotta
tank
take
with
your
a bunch
time.
of little fish is you got to buy 100 of each little fish.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true. That
Yeah.
you don't do that overnight, you know.
Yeah, you go to buy some rummy nose tetras and they're $7 a piece, and you need 100.
Right.
Right, and that was another thing we were looking at.
I didn't get to do the Google search. I wanted to see if anyone knew, approximately how many neon tetras can you fit in a 210-gallon tank.
Yeah, that's been your overnight conundrum.
You could go back to the Aquashella videos,
Oh my gosh.
and there's a company that has that big round tank that's like 500 gallons. And they must have had 1,000 neon tetras in there, and they would swim one direction and then turn around and swim the other direction.
I would love to see that.
That'd be
They're
gorgeous.
just one of my favorite fish.
Just multiple schools,
Mhm.
Here I am going back to multiple schools of things in a big tank.
Yeah.
They pretty much have it set up at every Aquashella. You can't
Yeah.
miss it.
That's cool.
It's pretty obvious
The
when you walk
closest
by.
one is like in Chicago, I think, from what I saw, and that's not too far from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the color of the neons up against the plants. It just looks so good.
You can find some good neons.
I got
You don't want to get them at my
It's pretty
Petco.
funny.
I'm pretty sure there's probably somebody out there that I know, but I'm not going to say it now because you guys are going to finish this project first, doggone it. Don't be like me and start 5-6 different things and you don't finish any of them.
I can't help myself. It's already who I am.
I gotta
Oh
keep
my
them on
God.
track.
Oh,
I asked
it's
her
so,
to because
It's horrible.
it
she
is.
does a good job directing me.
Yeah,
'Cause
see, I
I'm
got
everywhere.
I got nobody
I go from
except
one
Kurt.
thing to the next.
I got Curtis to encourage me, but heck, he's as bad as I am.
Or worse, yeah. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well,
do
he
it.
encourages you, but he's an enabler at the same point.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
why
we're-
it's kind of why I threw this comment up here by Red Laser, because it says it's funny to me because the part where the car is parked is Jake's garage. Funny you should say that. There is
Uh-oh.
no room in this 2-car garage for anything. It is plumb full because I can't throw anything away. I'm not like, well, am I necessarily a hoarder? And that was what was cool about Jimmy's question earlier on YouTube.
Yeah, I did. I asked that.
I do have hoarder tendencies, but I have a hard time throwing away things that are useful, and we acquire a lot between the ponds and the gardening and everything that we've done. We have supplies and plans to use them, so we're going to be doing a big clean out this spring for it, but there is no room to park a car, so I thought that was kind of funny going along with what we're.
Right now, the 210's in
about.
there.
It's just because there's so many plans, and
Right.
we try to
I get
move in a direction, and some things got to be put on the back burner, but at least we get stuff done.
That's right.
How much does that tank weigh now that I'm thinking about it?
255, not including the stand. Well,
That's right.
a little bit over because it had the background and the media in it.
We looked it up, and on average, an acrylic 210-gallon tank is about 250, 255 empty.
Yeah,
How-
'cause I'm just wondering, this 115 I'm going to pick up is 5 foot. And I'm by myself, so I got to
Glass
get
or
it.
acrylic?
It's acrylic. I got to get it down in the basement. The
Hmm.
plywood
You
tank.
might want to
plywood
get some
tank.
help.
I just slid the plywood tank down the stairs.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Well,
I think
think
if you could get it up center of gravity enough, if you're
Yeah.
strong enough, I think you might be able to bring it down. It's just, dimension wise, getting a good grip on
Yeah, it's-
something.
Awkward.
Or just
yeah,
put
the
your wife
awkwardness is the worst.
down at the bottom,
We got-
Scully, and say, "Here, catch."
Yeah, she'll love that.
Let's see if our
stayed,
connection can handle yet another panel guest. And
she stayed in the living room when I brought the 200 down.
to tell the truth, I'm pretty honored that he's even showing up here. So let's see if we can give him some crap, huh? Because we're all aspiring to like get our pages going. So, hey, welcome, Joey.
What's up, guys?
So
Hey,
Thanks for entertaining me through my water changes. They are now complete, and I decided, I'll jump on for a few minutes before I have anything else I got to do.
Well, that's
Which is
awesome.
largely cleaning the mess that I'm creating.
Right. We were just talking that I have a mess everywhere.
yep.
Yeah.
Trying to keep things swept up.
It's impossible.
That's like the least thing on my mind. But we did a bunch of water changes today too. It's usually either Sunday or Monday on our days off that we kind of go through. And this tank here, though, I don't do much of any water changes.
Nope.
We usually just add water.
Yeah,
Mostly
same with my
the
piranha tank.
goldfish.
So
Yeah,
many
the
plants.
just
kind of take
landscape.
care of that.
Yeah. You could probably even stock it even more.
Oh, I think
Just
it might.
keep pumping the fish to it.
Well, the plants, they easily cut, restuff in there, so they'll just kind of get big. There's a few species in there that I think need some friends, though. I mean, we only have 2 Corydoras. I heard they do better in bigger groups.
Yeah.
There's just a few of them like that.
You can probably get some breeding action out of them as well in that tank. Was that a
Angels
dirted
is-
tank?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's dirted. It's right now only looks like there's 1 inch of sand because the dirt's kind of leached up.
Mhm.
There's 1 inch of dirt, 2 inches of sand. We learned it, of course, from our guy Father Fish.
Oh. I remember Dustin was pumping that like 10 years ago. Dirted
Yeah.
tanks. And it's a pretty popular concept and it clearly works. I just never did it because it seems to me like most dirted tanks are like very flat, like the substrate. So it's a little more difficult
Right.
to kind of aquascape. But I do pretty much the same aquascapes all the time, which is just scaping out from the corner. But I like to pile things, and so I don't know if it would work for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, you can't really do any grades without putting baffles in there because it just messes up and it starts
Yeah.
mixing up.
Yeah. And you
Right.
get the wrong fish in there and stirs it up. There's pros and cons to it, but there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah,
So-
you can't put a Sylvani's chiclet in there, that's for sure. You dig right through there.
One of the people in the live here said that they got to move a 115-gallon tank by themselves. Who was that?
I do.
Scully.
It's an acrylic.
Is it acrylic or glass?
It's acrylic.
Oh, you're laughing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Unless you got to like pick it completely up out of the air. But if you could just do one side at a time or even drag it. I drag acrylic tanks all over the place. I just put a towel under the edge that's touching the floor. I just drag them along. You can't break them. I mean, you could, I guess, if you threw it out a window, but you'd
Yeah.
be fine.
Don't you gotta go downstairs, Scully?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on the edge of the stairs, get in front of it, and go down the stairs backwards while it slides down.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, just get on top and ride her right down.
Oh gosh, G-rated, Jake. G-rated.
Well, slide right down.
That might break it.
Well, how thick
Yeah,
is
probably.
it? A half
I
inch?
would
No.
recommend it.
Three
I haven't seen it yet. All I know is it's a 5'1", 115.
So, okay. Yeah, when I had a 120-gallon acrylic tanks, which were 4x2x2, I could pick those up by myself. They weigh less than 100 pounds. I think it's closer to like 70, 80 pounds, something like that. So like a big sack of potatoes, but they're just awkward. And yours is 5 feet long, so it's just going to be even more annoying to kind of move around, but you're going to be done. Wear gloves.
Yeah.
I like to wear those the gloves that for washing dishes, you know what I mean, the yellow ones, because they're just rubber. You get really good grip.
Hmm.
Yeah. Other than that, it should be fine. And you guys are building a big tank as well?
Good idea.
They just got one.
They just got one.
We just bought one.
Yeah,
Oh.
last Monday we picked up a 210 acrylic tank.
210.
It's,
What's that? 6x2x30?
Yep.
Roughly. Yeah.
So it's 220.
Along with like a lot of stuff with it. I mean, we got a banging deal on that. We got 2 FX6 filters, 2 Fluval, the fancy smart lights that You can do all the programming.
$400 worth of lights.
Yeah, all of the a bunch of decor chemicals that we probably might not even use, but we took them just because. And
It was $1,100 before you got to the tank and the stand. What we got extras.
Oh damn!
it was-
You got the stand too.
and we got
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah, stand and tank plus
the stand's
extras.
made out of 1/4-inch steel. It's all, I think, powder coated.
Oh damn!
It was probably twice as heavy as the tank itself.
What did you
And
pay?
it's got 1,300.
13. Original asking price was 18 for everything.
Damn.
And he kept lowering the price as I kept offering,
Yeah. We got him down to 15, and then he counter offered if he didn't have to clean it,
Mhm.
he would knock it down to 13, another $200.
Yeah,
just
rinse it
for
in the
not having to
driveway.
Clean the tank.
Right.
I just take a hose to it. Unless it was salt water, but it sounds like it was fresh water based on the equipment.
Yeah.
All fresh.
Yeah, it was fresh water.
Yeah, cleaning an acrylic saltwater tank is not fun. Because the coralline algae and everything just encrusts onto the acrylic. It's hard not to scratch it, but it is what it
Yeah,
is.
this is all fresh,
All
on
fresh.
that one.
But because of what was the name of the background?
Oh, the Aqua Decor background.
Aqua
on
Decor
it.
background, it trapped all that water behind there. So you had all that algae and all the silicone from the personal installation. It wasn't quite fully
It's a
cured.
real Aqua Decor background?
Yeah,
It was.
it was until we took it out.
Did you clean it?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it was really gross.
Well, yeah.
And
You couldn't clean behind there.
the top of it,
Oh, pressure washer.
like
I use
where-
pressure
where
washers
the
on it.
water edge was really decrepit, and it was like styrofoam.
Styrofoam, not plastic.
It was probably an older style. I don't know if they still make those. I know I've seen on yours, Joey, where they hold on by magnets. This one was, after we broke some pieces, it was white styrofoam in there. He
They
had all
did
the
that a
paperwork
long
with
time
it.
ago, but yeah. Jeez.
It was really gross.
I hated
Yeah.
those.
Nothing
I hated
was-
the styrofoam ones. They sent me styrofoam ones before, and I used it, but I hated it, and I never used it again. I think I actually threw it out because even trying to get it out, I destroyed it.
Yep.
And if the silicone lets go, which it eventually does, you got these big buoys essentially in your tank, and they'll just come smashing through the lids. Luckily, I think they stopped using styrofoam, but I'm not completely positive. Yeah, I was gonna say if you saved it, boy, are they expensive. But
Well, we've got
We
all
tried.
the pieces, but a lot of it chipped away.
Yeah,
Even
it was
before
already
we took it
pre-chipped
out.
and like fish nipped at, and it's not safe to have in the tank anymore.
There was chunks that were already out of it, and it just kind of looked bad. So
yeah, oh well.
that, and I didn't like how everything went behind in these little pockets. I guess I was looking more to have optimal water flow for our filtration on it, and it just didn't make sense to me. I mean, the little slits that they had in these little, I guess, 4x4 pockets going
Yeah.
all the way down from top to bottom.
They're annoying.
It didn't.
That's why I didn't like them
It
either.
didn't make sense to me.
I like the ones that are hollow, and it's completely empty behind it because you can run power heads or whatever you want behind that. But it also, I don't even run slits because I don't silicone them in place. I just put them in the tank like really snug. I used to silicone them in place because that's what they told me to do. But then I realized this is just restricting flow where I can get flow from all around the edges of the background.
Right.
And it never did clog. But
That,
if I
and
did,
if you ever want to change it, you're going to
yeah,
be
just-
pulling on silicone.
you just you just kind of pop them out. Some of them I guess you should silicone in place, but for the most part I don't. I don't think I'm going to be using them that much more. There's not enough tanks out here that need them. Especially with this big build, it's 20 feet long, and I don't want to take up any space in the side of the tank. So because I'm using a ton
Yeah.
of wood.
Right.
You've been getting
Same
a
here.
chance to work on that at all?
I've got all the supplies at this point, but I'm still
Yeah.
kind of slowly tearing apart all the tanks here and trying to figure out what to do
Right.
with where I'm going to put the fish, and just in the meantime, and I'm now down to 2 tanks have fish, so I could start. I'll have to move some tanks and then move the fish into them. You know, it kind of sucks to have to do that sort of thing. But the fish that I have now, I don't want to give them away. So they've got to
Same.
be kind of moved around. But and I'm running out of
So-
people to give my fish to. You know, I've been doing that for a long time, giving fish away, shipping fish, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's to the point where they're like, okay, that's enough. I don't care if you're giving them to me for free. I don't have any more room.
Right.
Just make sure they give them back.
Yeah, you can put them on pond.
Kind of like on loan.
They could, but I mean, they gotta ship them on the airplanes and whatnot.
Well,
I do have a
many
box of
locals?
fish I'm gonna put together. No, not very many locals that have big tanks like this.
Okay.
You know, I remember when I built my first plywood tank, it was only 237 gallons, and at the time, it was the largest private home aquarium in Atlantic Canada. Believe it or not.
Wow.
The biggest besides that was like 130 gallons. Times have changed, of course, but
Right.
all with custom tanks and me showing how to build, and people are able to build their own tanks now. But we live in a small area and where everything's super expensive. We don't have custom tank builders close or anything like that, and it's really
Well, we're-
expensive.
We're kind of like in that same sort of boat, I guess. I mean, we're rural Wisconsin. I live in town, but it's farm communities. The closest fish store we have is 30 miles away, and it's a Pet Supplies Plus, one of those big box stores.
Yeah, not really.
It's kind of like a Petco or whatever, you know. And that's the only place to buy fish nearby. There's maybe up in Superior, Duluth, there's maybe some
One or
better
two.
fish stores as far as like a locally owned one. But it's hard to come by anything other than the regular common fish that everyone keeps. And saltwater
Yeah.
is completely out of the question.
Well, our
Ask
problem is
Everybody
is
what their feeling is
sorry.
about aquahuna.
Oh. I was just Kitty had her mic on, not on mute. Go ahead.
So our issue with sourcing fish or even supplies is that Canada's provinces are side by side, whereas for the States is just like a big conglomerate, and you could live almost anywhere and you're kind of surrounded by something important. Whereas I'm on the east coast of Canada, and anything decent's going to come from the middle of it, which is Toronto. But our port is in British Columbia, which gets most of the fish imported to. So if you import fish, they go to British Columbia first, which for you guys would be like California, and then they got to fly
Yeah,
them
on
to
the West Coast.
Nova Scotia, which would be like New York, all the way over. So the costs on top of that, like if I want to get a box of fish imported, even the smallest box, $800 for shipping.
Right.
Who cares that the fish cost 2 pennies or 8 cents for whatever you want? Because when you are importing, those are the costs that you typically see. Disc is for like $4 type of thing. But still, everything has to come from hundreds of or thousands of kilometers away. And that's why a lot of things are super expensive. Now, we used to have a chain store. I think it was called Pets Unlimited. And they would bring in tanks as big as 130 gallons, but they went bankrupt and out of business. So now it's just privately owned.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy something, I mean, the shipping cost is going to cost more than the tank itself. But this is the situations that I was faced with originally and why I started building my own tanks. But now, since, you know, the pandemic or whatnot, it's almost more expensive to build your tank than to just try to find something to buy. Because the materials are so expensive. Everything is so expensive right now.
Yeah, the materials have gone up. Yeah. We're kind of seeing that too. I mean, in plywood in our area.
Yeah.
When we rebuilt our boat using plywood, it was a fraction of the cost that you can get it now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the other thing for us
is-
around here, we do have a window and glass place. But I think I know the owner, and I think last time I talked to him, he said something that he didn't have any tempered glass. So I was
I
kind
don't
of
either.
worried about building a tank. At least we could drill it, right? But I'd like to see what kind of thickness he can get. You know, or what
I
he
would say
might
upwards
even
of-
have in stock.
upwards of like half-inch thick is relatively common. Above and beyond that, it's going to get really expensive, and you're probably going to want to look into acrylic.
For like a 180, how thick should the glass be?
180 gallon glass tank that's braced, half-inch. Yeah, that'll
Okay.
do. This tank here is 700 gallon glass, and it's 3/4 inch thick.
Okay.
But all of my 180s are half-inch. Yeah, either half-inch or no. I think they're actually 3/8. I'd have to measure them, but it's definitely at no bigger than half-inch, like 12 millimeter. And then the acrylic tank, that's 375 gallons. I built that at a 3/4 inch acrylic because it was so cheap, so I just went bigger than needed. And the viewing panel on the 2000s, 1.6 inch thick. And I went there with that size because 6 years ago it was so affordable. It was cheaper for me to buy acrylic than
Right.
glass. But not anymore. Not even close. Prices have doubled and tripled. I think that panel cost me at the time maybe $1,200 for a 1.6 inch thick 8x4 sheet, and now it's like $5,000.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I can believe it.
Whoa.
I was going to extend the 2000 to be twice the length, but in order to double the size of it, so originally that tank cost $10,000 in materials, which sounds like a lot, but 750 gallons of cement, 1.5 inch thick acrylic, all of that epoxy. It added up, but to add on to it to double the size would have been 30,000. So I was like, no, I'm not willing to pay triple what the original size was just to double it. If it was still around 10, I probably could have did it, but for 30, I just thought, no, I could build other stuff.
For
And
sure.
I wouldn't be looking to
You
do
know,
it
it
with concrete
reminds me
again.
of that filter that you put on there. With that filter you put on your salt water, you were talking about how you want to build your
the
own
overhead.
for the cost. And it was a Timu filter.
Yeah,
yeah.
the plumbing supplies
Is that
alone.
working all right for you?
Oh yeah, I bought 2 more. They're already here. Yeah, they're
Did ya?
awesome. They work really, really good.
Awesome. 'cause
For like
we just
$60
set
all
up
day.
ours yesterday. After watching your video,
You
we
have the
went
filter?
on and yeah, we just got it. We just got it set up, but when I went on like 2 days after watching your video, I waited that long, and it was sold out, the big one. So we got the next one down and replaced it in our pond over there. Replaced the other.
Yeah, but
one I
even that
made
next one
myself.
down is even the next one down. You're still adding. I think those bottom drawers are like 5 gallons a piece. That's 10 gallons of available space. Now, when you get into the, that's like saying 83 liters of available biological media. Because you look at like even the FX5. What's that hold for actual media? 2 liters or 8 liters, something like that. So you're adding in 80 liters of biological media, even if it's small. The downside is that the smaller one.
Yeah.
What is are they 1 inch bulkheads or 3/4 inch? Like the flow for that filter?
I think they're 3/4.
This one had on the input, I believe, is probably. It looks to me like 1/2 inch. It's kind of weird because they're thinner wall than what I'm used to. But it was 3/4 coming out.
Yeah, I think that
And
even,
those.
but you have dual 3/4 inch, so you should. The flow rates are wrong. I know that.
Oh yeah.
You could flow way more than they're advertising. But yeah, I would just test it and see how
yeah,
long, how much.
When I was rinsing out
What's
the
that?
trays, cleaning it. When I was cleaning the unit, because it comes and it's dusty, it's got all the materials in there. Rinsing it under the faucet, just one tray at a time. I mean, nothing builds up in the bottom. Just using city tap water, the flow that comes out of there is like, I don't know what city is, 80 psi or something. I don't know, but coming out, nothing builds up the bottom. I think the bottom holes were at least 1/4 inch, if not a little bit more around
Yeah.
on all the holes.
And
it
worst
can
case scenario, you
accommodate
just
a
make
lot of flow.
yeah, and it's the bulkheads that will limit it. But worst case, you just
Right.
use bigger bulkheads, and I think I got 1-inch bulkheads. But yeah, like I said, I was going to build something like that, and I was going to build them to be longer to sit on the actual top of the tank instead of having to like kind of figure out a way to balance it. But the containers alone, I think, were going to cost me like 20-30 bucks each.
Yeah.
And then all the plumbing supplies, and then all that drilling, like all those holes. Once I seen all those holes, I have like almost had like a PTSD from drilling so many holes over my career. I was like, oh, thank God I don't got to drill any more holes.
Yeah. I was kind of impressed by some of the media. I mean, ours came with those ceramic long blocks with the hole. I don't know if there's a name for them. Came with those. It came with a bag of other ceramic stuff and some bio balls, which now we're just kind of got all sitting in the goldfish tank, kind of getting cycled there because we already had cycled media for this other one. But just having all those fittings, having all of the media going with it.
What did it
and
cost for you
said,
total?
Well, we used a coupon and it was something like $43.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Not
I wish
bad
they
at
were
all.
black though. I wish they came in the color black.
Yeah.
It would have
That would be
looked
nice.
looked a little slicker, I guess. I could always paint it. Maybe I will. I don't know. All right, guys. I
Probably
should probably
could.
get back to cleaning and let you guys enjoy your live stream and whatnot. Sorry for taking over, hijacking it. I have the tendency to kind of do that, but I'll get out of here and let your
No
guests come
problem.
back. And but thanks for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Joey. We really appreciate it, man. Anytime.
All right. No problem. See you guys later.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
What a nice surprise. But we lost a couple people out here. But they're fun. They just kind of went off the chat a little bit. It's don't know Joey very well at all personally. Well, I don't, because
None of us do.
well, some people do, but I don't. I just enjoyed watching his videos, learned a lot from him. Felt he was pretty heartfelt, and it was that was pretty cool to have him on here for us because I learned a lot from him so far. So that was pretty cool. But on to the next topic. What did we do today? We moved a bully. Moving a bully. Let's do a new banner. I didn't think we were going to catch him either. Moving. Obviously, don't know what we're doing here on live streaming, but that's the fun part. Moving a bully. So, Katie, why don't you talk for a while? Tell everybody what we did today when it came to this.
Okay.
Let's,
So behind us is a 70 gallon.
hold on 1 second. Let's get your mic back on and we'll mute me.
Behind us is the 75-gallon planted tank. And not only in this tank, but Jake's Tetra tank, we have a Chinese algae eater. So far in Jake's Tetra tank, it's been fine. But this 75-gallon tank back here, he likes to be a huge bully. So we've been watching him chasing the rest of the fish and running them down and everything else. So we decided today that he's going to come out of there. Jake had an idea that setting up a big net where he normally swims and chasing him, not chasing him, but being gentle with him, going behind him, the little net would coax him into the big net. It worked. So we moved him out of the tank and into the 35-gallon tank with the Sylvania cichlid. If
What-
anything, he's going to learn the ropes.
We'll see. What do you guys think of the Sylvania cichlid with a Chinese algae eater? I mean, so far it looks like they're getting along, but things can change over time. Things can change when you turn out the lights. I think the temperament of these two fish, I think they're going to do fine. That Sylvania's been by herself, other than the pleco in there. So I've noticed that she's kind of come out of her hiding holes a little better and has been swimming around a little more with that fish in there. But it's got to be better than having that bully in this tank. It, like Katie said, he just kind of would looked like he would mind his own business, swimming around, cleaning, and the wrong fish would pass by and would chase it around the whole tank a couple times. And do that to the gourami, do that to, I guess, the ram. I would see that happen once in a while. He'd chase
All the big fish.
the angels a little bit, and just seemed like he was causing more stress. "3G here says, well, they will probably ignore each other unless they want the same hiding hole." I was kind of thinking about that too. I was almost wondering about putting something in there that's, because right now that eater is smaller, the cichlid. We've got a couple ornaments, even though they don't really match the decor, but just to keep things civil, maybe put that in there, something that the algae eater can go into that the Sylvania can't get at. There's plants in there, but that's not
My
going to stop
worry
the
is-
other fish.
Last time we had them in the tank with the Salvini, she thought she'd stuff herself in there, and I just don't want her to get stuck.
Salient, what do you got there? I have a Snow King pleco that has a lot of tude. I have to put him in a tank by himself, but wanted another fish in it, so I went to the store and got a Jack Dempsey that was chasing fish 4 times its size. Snow King plecos I'm not too, I guess I'm not familiar with at all. I haven't heard of them. Maybe you have.
A little bit.
Yeah. So are they getting along just fine, those two? He says, the result, a perfect balanced relationship. That's cool.
Nice to hear.
We were looking at some Jack Dempsey's too, and there's kind of a thing for
It's a
me right now.
50-50 on the fence type of thing.
I have a hard time. Katie can tell the difference. There's certain Jack Dempsey's, different colorations, and I don't know if it stems from people not knowing their fish, or if maybe you guys have seen there's a lot of similarities between a Sylvania and a Jack Dempsey as far as the coloring, the line through the side, the oranges and yellows, because I've seen some videos, some pictures, they're saying they're Jack Dempsey's.
There's
and
all different
to me,
kinds.
they look like Sylvania. But I know there's different types of Jack Dempsey's out there, different colorings, but I guess that comes from learning, trying to identify species. We're in that stage always, trying to learn. Pleco was sucking and chasing
Ooh.
the other fish. Whoa.
I gotta make sure somebody didn't jump up.
Mute. had a big splash coming out of the pond over here. Let's see, I can kind of move that a little bit. Not making too many dad noises.
We're good.
Yeah?
No need to get up.
Okay. No problemos. I picked up a new gnome today. I like to put gnomes in our greenhouse, so got one up there. Just holding the cup, and it says it's 5 o'clock on the sign. Gnomes. Salient, thank you. You know, that video so far has been one of our better ones performing wise. It's kind of cool. It's only been out for like 4 days and has a lot more views in that amount of time than anything we put out. So it's kind of neat to see. And, you know, I think I owe it a lot to the people we've met doing these live streams, just kind of introducing us to other people and getting exposed. But I'm glad you liked it. You know, it's not all about who you know. I guess a lot of times you got to put something decent out there. And I tried to make it short and quick. And it ended up being like 12 minutes. We recorded over 20 minutes. Like 8 or 9 minutes I had to cut out of there. And I just tried to get as much dead air out as possible and keep myself on track. During these live streams, you'll probably see a little more of just how much I can ramble and how much I can go off on a tangent. And the videos, if you saw the raw footage, nothing like what I put out there. It was something that we had to do. That was actually like the second take that we did of it. We did a more in-depth one where we showed a little more of the filtration and explained a little more. And I thought it was a good video, but it just, for whatever reason, after getting it all edited, it just would not render. Tried over and over again, just kept airing out. Everything else I've tried to use in any other video I've edited afterwards and tried rendering has been fine, but for some reason that one did not work, which sucked because it took me all day to do. But that one we actually filmed right before going to get our new tank. So we had a lot going on that day, and I was pumped up and I felt the energy, and I just wanted to make a quick video about it, and it turned out all right. I'm glad you liked it. A neon open sign. That's pretty cool, huh? I got that from work. I thought it was defective. Let's see if I can put it on here.
It won't let you.
Yeah, it's on there. They thought it was defective because it stopped working, so they reordered a new sign to hang in the front window, and it sorry, I got sidetracked. They ordered a new one thinking the old one was shot, and the guy that was installing, one of my coworkers, he didn't feel like unplugging the original adapter since they were identical signs. It was plugged up into a ceiling way high, and so he hung up the new sign, took the old one down, used the original plug-in for it, you know, a little wall wart adapter, and it still didn't work. That's when everyone had the aha moment. Oh, maybe it was just the adapter. So he took the new adapter out of the box and replugged it in. The sign lit up. Took the new adapter, also plugged it into the old sign, and of course it lit up. Well, he already did the work of hanging the new sign, and I was like, what are you going to do with that? You're going to throw it away? Can I have it? He said, it was all yours, man. So I took it home, bought a new adapter online for real cheap, and It's pretty cool. I like it. There's different patterns it does, but we just kind of
Leave it on solid.
it's neat. Nice addition to our hangout spot out here, I think. What else we got for comments, Katie?
Salient Aquatics. I almost had a 370-gallon tank a while back, 10-foot long. I just want to drive. Didn't want to drive 4 hours for it. Good price too. I don't blame you. That's a lot of hauling time and breakage time.
Yeah, 4 hours bouncing around. That's 4 hours one way, I'm assuming. Even if it was 2 hours one way, 4 hours round trip. Definitely a long haul. And if it was 8 hours, I would just hold off and wait on that.
Also,
Luckily-
Salient says, I see your Temu overhead sump back there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Joey. We set it up yesterday. We did a whole video of unpacking it over the course of a few days. You can see it right there. We unpacked it, did a video about that and setting it all up. Yesterday, at least for the top portion of that, is got our mechanical media. And when I originally set it up, we just put some polyfill in there. Well, this morning, it was already overflowing into the next one, so it was already clogged up. We have a lot of fish in there. I mean, it's 42 goldfish. They are good size, and so there's a lot of bio load along with that 12-foot pleco, 12-inch pleco. And
Might as well be 12 foot.
yeah, so it clogged it up quick. So we changed it out this morning, put just a small, the thin layer of, it's like polyfill, but it's the fleece kind of blanket looking stuff. Put that in the bottom and cut a black piece of sponge and went over top. Hopefully it'll just kind of not clog up as quickly. But it does a really good job. It's a lot easier to use than what we had in there originally. That one that I made of an office organizer. That worked really well, but it was just really hard to maintain. In the second layer, there's 3 layers on there. In the second layer, we have just pot scrubbies, nylon, multicolored pot scrubbies stacked all along through there. And in case you don't know what pot scrubbies look like, they're these. This is a pack of 6 of them. But yeah, they're just individuals in here. I don't keep them in the net in there. I took them out. And they're just stacked lengthwise like this. Probably like 10 or 11 two rows of those. We did that on that middle one just to let the water soak through, because the bottom layer doesn't have holes in the bottom. There's outflow tubes. And so the bottom there we have lava rock. And that's what was in my original filter in there. It was already been running for a long time. It was already cycled. So put the rock in the bottom where it kind of pools up, and these in the middle one where it flows through more. And there's a lot of media in there for that little thing.
Pretty jam-packed.
Might be worth getting a higher flow pump eventually in there.
I think it's doing pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to jump on?
We can go on and well, let's see what else is on here. Jeff Kane's on here.
Yeah.
Joof, joof. Need more breeder boxes. We did get a breeder box off the Temu too. It was, I don't know, $3 or something, but it's big. It's got sections where you can do like 4 bays, but it's probably a good foot long, maybe 4 or 5 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
Suction cups. Got the little wedge things along for the fry to go through. And we're hoping to try and do some breeding. I don't know. Whatever fish, either, for their live bears, obviously, we only have 2 live bears. Guppies, which they're all males, so they're not going to do anything. And a pair of swordtails, which I think she might have had fry already, but they got eaten up. So that's kind of why we bought that, just to try and keep track of our swordtails, and maybe we'll get some babies. I'm way behind it looking at all this stuff. Sunny G says howdy. I think that
Hey, Sunny.
I need to take a quick break away from the camera. So Katie's going to entertain you all. She's very entertaining.
I am.
Trust me. Very entertaining. See, just that look that you give. That's hilarious.
That's not fair.
I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere far. Trust me.
Goodness sakes. You leave it in my hands?
Absolutely. You are the co-host.
Yeah, but you're the main host. What am I supposed to talk about now?
Whatever you want. It's our show. Pick a topic.
What haven't you covered?
We did the first 2. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, we did the bully, and we talked about your new tank.
Okay. New tank is going to have the cock removed. What are your preferences on removing the cock besides a plastic razor blade on an acrylic tank? I did find something that's biodegradable, but Jake's totally against everything. Thanks, Jeff. That's cute. I want your opinion. Sounds good. Plastic scraper. Jake tried it tonight, and he was like, oh, what a beast. We do love our glass tanks also. But there has to be some kind of a helper along here with the acrylic. Otherwise, we're going to gouge into it like no tomorrow, even with the plastic scrapers. The chemical I found is a biodegradable chemical that you can actually get rid of with soap and water. And I think if we leave the remnants of the sand down in the bottom, it might help absorb anything extra. What are your thoughts? No, we haven't, Jeff. That's going to be my first step before we resort to anything else. So I'm not sure. Oh, if you guys can all see the picture or not. Huh?
You throw a picture on your phone?
Yeah. Jake's going to try and make it so you guys can all see this picture. So the white stuff and any globby looking stuff on the back of the tank is going to be the caulking and the rest of the styrofoam that was left over from removing the background from the tank. So this is what we have to deal with. You can kind of see it. Now, mind you, there's no 3D background left in the tank. This is the remnants of the caulking, the styrofoam that was left over from the caulk.
Yep. Back on? Well, I am.
I'm going to switch you chairs.
Why?
Because
I kind of like this chair.
tough.
It's nice and cool. One of them is getting warm,
Well, it's because your butt sat in it too long.
probably. Fine. Switch chairs. Fine with me. So I kind of overheard Katie was talking about using the chemical to soften. Nobody else is on the panel, so I can't hear them. Are you muted? Okay. She wanted to use a chemical, and I don't think it's a good idea. I know she says it's Scully says Dawn, vinegar, and CRL.
CLR?
Yeah.
CLR is worse than the chemical I'm using.
I just sorry, I just saw a funny comment wondering if we have any beanfish.
Me what?
Never mind. That's great. I have a problem with putting any kind of chemicals, even they're biodegradable, I guess, other than stuff that's made for fish. Even that I don't want to, but I believe this product is made to like take caulking off of bathrooms, stuff like that. Since it's such a huge tank, it can't really just tip it upside down outside, spray it out, shake it around, dump it out, and really get it rinsed out. And so I like to use nothing but maybe water and Dawn dish soap. We're going to probably have to get a shop vac involved too and just really work our way with it. But it's up for more discussion. It's going to take some time, and it'd be cool to have some opinions if anyone's tried to use that, getting silicone off the back of your tank, which I've never had to encounter before. But to me, it just seems like it would be kind of a hard thing to do. What we got here, we got Garcia. Garcia's in the chat. Hey, Garcia, how's it going, man? Glad you came. I gotta back up. Salient said something. Okay. I see. Jeff Kane says I use biodegradable cleaners on condensers, leg. Something to think about. You know, it's biodegradable. It can disperse naturally in nature, but in a concentrated area like a tank, to me, could cause some issues. I'd rather not chance it, but you know, it is Katie's tank, so if she wants to do that, she's more than free to do so. But I just strongly caution her against using something like that. Well, other than that, though, we just have plastic razor blades, and it's getting the bulk of it off, but it's not getting the majority of it off. I might test a small area with a metal razor blade somewhere out of the sight, because my main concern using metal scrapers, like we've talked about on other live streams, is just scratching the acrylic, then having to go through and clean that, buff that. It's just a lot more steps. So trying to get this stuff off with creating as less damage to the aquarium as possible, and still not contaminating the tank. If anyone else wants to still come on live, let me post that invite again. I know when Joey was on here, he even said he took over, and didn't really mean that, but I had some questions for him, and everyone knows how much of a talker he can be sometimes, so I didn't mean to push you guys off of here, and if you want to come back, that'd be great. Let's put a link up. Anyone wants to join, I'll throw you up on here. I just gotta make sure that, you know, I can see you're an actual person and not some kind of weird robot. What is this? That's more bouncers.
It wants to be a wrench.
Should I give him one?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's pull it up on here. I sing a lot when I talk sometimes. Just for whatever reason. I don't know. Put it up on here. Salient Multirada. There we go. Bouncers are good. Scully says, I would lay it down and put soaked paper towels with vinegar and let them soak overnight.
It's vertical.
It'd be hard for us to lay it down, but I do like the idea of using vinegar. That, I think, is just a lot less toxic and can be, what's the word for it? Watered down, I guess. So it's not going to cause anything to be too acidic. Vinegar is great for a lot of stuff, so if there's a way that I can, we'll try it. See if we can figure out a way to keep some vinegar against it even while it's vertical. It might be a little challenging, but why not? It's worth a shot. some of you might know this is only our second live stream. The first live stream was kind of spur of the moment just to see if certain equipment would work, if it had the capability or the internet to do it. And it was all right. This one was slightly planned. Kind of earlier today, I thought, hey, how about we try to do another live stream? And kind of figured out on the fly how to get it scheduled and get a quick thumbnail set up for it. It was kind of cool. Neat to learn this stuff. How long we've been on so far? An hour and a half?
Yeah, roughly.
Scully says if we can, if we scratch it, we can buff it out using car buffer. I do have one of those. I got buffing pads for different stuff, and probably do it by hand, different plastic polishes, high grain, wet dry sandpaper, kind of polish it down. Kind of like repairing headlights on the car, same sort of deal. I was trying to avoid the work unnecessarily. Causing more scratches is going to cause more work in the end, I guess. Jeff says, let's see. Well, thanks for the shout out too, Salient. Jeff says, Jake Kitty, what type of fish store do you have local to you? Nothing real local. Most local thing would be 30 miles away or so, half hour away. It is Pets, yeah, Pet Supplies Plus. Yeah, turn your mic back on. No, you're on. Pet Supplies Plus. If anyone's not familiar with it, not much different than a Petco or PetSmart. Same kind of deal. Big box corporate pet store. I think what town? They're in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. It's about a half-hour drive away from us.
Down south.
South of us, yeah. The closest one after that would probably be up in Superior, Duluth. I heard there might be
There's a place
local
in
pet
Siren,
store. Oh,
but
in
we
Siren?
can't ever get there when we have a day off.
Yeah, we have days off on Sunday and Monday. They're closed on both of those days. So if we can both get some morning shifts during the week, maybe we can head over there. They're not as far away, maybe 20 minutes. But that's a local, like a mom and pop store. So they sell reptiles and fish and all sorts of stuff. And I'd like to check them out. I forgot. I think they're just called the Fish Store. I'd like to check those out. Other than those places, we'd have to go up to Superior, Duluth, Hermantown, which is pretty much a part of Duluth, just kind of a little bit north. But you can't tell when you're driving if you're going from one town to the next, sort of thing. I forgot the name of that place.
Which
So
one?
they're the one in Hermantown, Duluth, basically.
Fish for You or something like that?
Yeah, well, I'd like to check out that place. Of course, there's like a PetSmart up in Duluth, but I thought you had said there was a mom and pop store in Superior as well.
Oh, Shrimp and Aquatics or something like that. Can go on and find it.
The only problem is with
I
those,
don't think they do fish though.
that's about at least an hour and a half if you drive slow up to Superior, the Duluth area, Twin Ports, whatever they like to call themselves. I used to live up there, so I know my way around. So it wouldn't be a matter of like finding the place, but it's a long drive. So an hour and a half. Hours, like if you're nowhere to speed on the freeway, let's just say it's an hour and a half one way. So it's a 3-hour round trip. So we pick up the fish and then we have to make it back in an hour and a half. Shouldn't be a problem. I guess I'm even driving from Rice Lake, which was a half-hour away. I felt like we had to hurry. Like I was worried about the fish being in the bag that long. Especially at a corporate store like that, all they do is pump regular air from the room in there. They're not pumping oxygen, fresh oxygen into the bag. And so driving an hour and a half back with the fish, and then I guess they'd be put into quarantine anyways, but it's, close to 2 hours of that fish being in a bag. Just don't know if that's safe for fish. I know they've been in bags longer when they ship overseas and whatnot.
Then it's done properly versus when you come from the pet store.
Yeah, because at least when they come overseas and they're shipped, they put stuff in the water. They use fresh oxygen. Sometimes they're even repacked once they get to a certain destination, and fresh water is given to them. But you guys think that an hour and a half to 2 hours is too long to be in a regular, local pet store bag? What do you think? Do. I'm just looking through the chat right now, seeing what's out there. Jeff hasn't been to a fish store in Superior, Duluth in 20 years.
Take a small bucket, go. We were thinking about a cooler with an aerator.
Well, we do have a bait bucket with a built-in aerator. We have 5-gallon pails that I could silicone a line and a battery-operated air pump that's on the way. We could use that, I'm sure, and give it a little more volume. That'd probably be a good idea.
But the temperature of water is my concern. Are they willing to fill that much water up for the travel?
Yeah, we could use our own water. But by the time, I guess it'd depend on what time of year. I mean, if it was wintertime, we had a bucket sitting in the car for an hour or 2 hours shopping, it's going to get cold. Of course, we got, temperature control in the vehicle, get it warmed up. And then again, in the summertime, if it's super hot and you don't have your windows down, a bucket of water might get pretty dang warm before you get back out to your car and put them in there.
They don't need the air pump. Fish 6 hours just sloshing around in the bucket, Skull says.
I think he's got a good point that they don't like it. They like it when they don't have to bag them. And I think that if it's a mom and pop place, they'll respect the fact that you're trying to do what's best for the fish. So they may give you some aquarium water to put in there. And it doesn't have to be a lot. They don't have to fill the entire bucket. But I think they'd be more willing to do something that's right for the fish and for the person that's buying it. So I don't think it'd be a struggle.
Definitely.
If they sighed and rolled their eyes, then I'd probably be like, well, I guess I'm not going to buy any fish from you, and walk out the door. If you're owning a mom and pop fish store, chances are you are a hobbyist as well, and you have a concept for these sort of things, I guess.
Nice job.
Leg drop.
A Hogan leg drop? Okay,
Yeah, Hulk
Salient.
Hogan.
How about a Hagen leg drop?
Those are brutal, I'll tell you
Boom!
what. Where's my beanfish guy? Is he still in here?
Beanfish guy?
Dave, make a comment if you're still in here. I can't tell who's in here or not. Like, not a list. If there's a way to see a list, it'd be cool.
Silly, slapping their butt off.
Live viewers. I can see that there's 8 live viewers, but I can't see a list of them.
Well, they're all in the comments, basically.
My friend and coworker Dave Hansen was in here, and it's a long-running joke about beanfish, and I'm not going to even explain what it is, but we use it randomly in conversations all the time because we're slightly insane. We work retail, so anyone that does knows how weird that can get. So I saw his comment earlier, and it totally threw me off. I was in the middle of saying something, and I saw that and totally lost my frame of thought. Train of thought?
Frame and chain.
Train.
Train, chain, and frame. Depends on how you want to go about it.
The chain gang.
You're on the chain gang.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Shall we actually play the song?
You can't. You get copyright in the heartbeat.
Oh, sorry.
You could sing it. No, don't sing it. I do sing, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
What's your own separate channel?
I do have a separate channel, and I wasn't allowed to bring it up the other day because it has nothing to do with Aquarius. It's one I've had for a long time, and I play guitar. I try to sing, and most of these did it with personal videos, and on there I just do whatever I think is funny, whatever I want to do with music-wise, and trust me, it is far from being monetized. A lot further than this channel is from it. And I got like 17 subscribers on there. It's pretty bad. If you try hard enough, you might be able to find it. But not going to try and promote that because it's I don't know. It just is what it is. I tried to bring it up the other night and Kay said, no, don't do it. Well, fine. I won't.
It's not all about you.
It's true. It's not all about me. Especially on this channel. It's about us. And it's about our fish. It's about the plants we grow. It's about our love of nature and life and taking care of yourself, doing things for yourself, doing projects together.
And enjoying it.
A lot of what a lot of people see in a lot of our videos are about these aquariums and our fish. And I tell you, it is a big part of our life. But there are other videos out there that we have on our channel that have to do with plants. Our garden that got destroyed last winter during the beginning of the winter, and we had to work through that all last summer, tearing it down and building a greenhouse pretty much by hand. We bought a kit off of Amazon, but we made a base for it. We had friends in that did tree removal. We had friends in that did landscaping for us. A lot of manual labor that Katie and I did ourselves, and it took the whole summer. And it was Katie's idea. She wanted a greenhouse, and I did my best to make it happen, and it turned out really cool. We got it up by mid to end of summer last year and got some plants growing and had great results, but it was kind of later in the season, and we're really looking forward to that, working on that this summer too. And anyone that knows us personally knows that we have a green thumb and we love using it. Which one is green though? Yours is green, like in terms of growing plants. Mine's green just because it's dirty.
Where'd that thumb go, Jake?
Ooh,
Sorry,
very good.
couldn't help myself.
Almost spit up a microphone. We do that when we have ponds outside. A little drink in the nostrils, isn't it? We have ponds outside, stock tank ponds, in-ground ponds. We usually stock those with goldfish. We have some other plans for this year. But waterfalls, all solar powered. It's great. So I'm gonna show all that as the winter months kind of deplete and go into spring and summer. Of course, these fish tanks and aquariums, they're just that's going to be a never-ending thing. Fortunately, in Wisconsin, the other stuff is kind of seasonal. We don't get to play with that stuff in the wintertime, but we can definitely plan.
I think this year is going to be a big year where we can get started more earlier than normal.
Oh, for sure.
Average temps outside range from 30, 40 degrees right now in January. What snow we had, the only snow we basically have left are the little banks.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, because it got so warm in the last few days.
Yeah,
Unseasonably
definitely.
warm.
Which I'm fine with that, but it's going to throw off the whole growing season for farmers.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works. I don't know, and how the weather's going to be going into spring and summer. Are we going to have big storms because of all of this?
Yeah.
And we don't have, obviously, since we're in Wisconsin, we don't have big hurricanes or earthquakes and stuff like
No,
that.
we have tornadoes.
But we do get the tornadoes. Our thunderstorms get pretty bad. Not as bad as maybe down in Kansas or that area, but
There's possibility of it
definitely-
happening.
we definitely had our fair share of big tornadoes in the area.
Definitely. Along with the fact of not only if it wasn't a tornado, it's straight line winds, it's the hail. You know, we had 2 huge hailstorms back to back the same year. What, year and a half ago?
Mm-hmm.
And just demolished everybody's roofs and vehicles and everything else.
Yeah, it did a number on a lot of our plants that were outside. I was always really concerned for our ponds out there of it splashing down, but didn't do any damage to the fish.
Nothing
It
to
just-
the fish, just the lily plants on the top of the surface.
The lilies did take a little bit of a beating from that, but
They said they came back.
mm-hmm. But being that the weather is so weird this year so far, I'm just kind of got a feeling we might be in for something. Who knows for sure? I guess not even the weatherman's going to tell you that straight. But just want to let you guys know what you can kind of look forward to if you've been following our channel. We do all sorts of stuff. That friend of mine, Dave, whether or not he's still on here, I still haven't seen him show back up. Dave Hansen does a channel. It's called Autarky Homestead. Autarky is a word that's used for self-sustaining. If you go to our channel, our actual page, and scroll down to the bottom, he's the first one listed under friends. His channel is growing great. He's a good friend of mine, a co-worker. We both kind of got into this YouTube around the same time. His channel's been out a lot longer, but he's completely off the grid. And so he's got big solar panel arrays and birds. He built his home out of a pre-built shed, and he did all of the interior work. It's just beautiful. And he's really gotten us into the solar panel stuff, which we want to use outside here to run our ponds, which we've had. And I think it'd be cool. I think this summer we're going to get together and do some collaborations where we go to his place. He comes over here and we talk about the different stuff. But check out his channel. You'll have to go to ours because I don't have a link prepared. Go to our channel, scroll to the bottom, look under friends. He's the very first one. It's his big face on there. It says Autarky Homestead. And it's got some interesting stuff in there. If you ever want to get into solar power or living off the grid, he's got some great tips. And
Definitely.
he's just a really good friend of ours. We'd appreciate it if you checked him out too, because he works hard on this page as well. His YouTube channel is
Yeah.
doing really well. He works really hard on everything around the home and at his normal 9 to 5 job, if you want to call it 9 to 5, his full-time job. So he doesn't have a whole lot of time, but he makes time to do the best he can with putting stuff out there. Sorry, I got something in my eye here. I swear I'm not crying.
You're
Anyways,
crying.
for the most part, he does a lot of shorts because that's the time that he has there to do it is for shorts. But he does put videos out. He runs a lumber mill, cuts his own trees. This guy works really hard. Lately, he just built a whole big garage by hand. I mean, no air
Sawed
nailers.
Everything by hand for timbers.
Yeah, he's got a wood mill, so it's gas powered, and he makes his own boards and all of his lumber, all of his studs made by hand. He got a few things secondhand, like siding and the metal roof and stuff, and then entry doors and things like that. But all the wood you see in this build is all made by him, and it's all pounded together by hand, hammer, nail, him and his wife. And it's really, really quite a feat. I mean, I've been in construction and I've had the use of using power tools and pneumatic nailers and whatnot, and cranes to hoist things up and ladders and whatnot. He built scaffolding to do all this stuff with, and he just is really, really hard to make his little parcel of land his own homestead. He takes a lot of pride in it. He does a great job. So please check that out. It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to him. And Katie.
Yeah, him and his wife are pretty good people.
Yeah.
Along with their kids. They're awesome.
Yeah. They just have a lot of fun. And he's got a pond out back, like a natural one. He's been trying to keep some fish in there. I think it needs to be dredged out, dug out. But he's been taking some tips about trying to keep aerators in there, to keep open spots open for fish to come to the surface and whatnot. Just trying to keep them alive. It's a pretty shallow pond, but it's like a natural one. And I think we're going to try and work with them a little bit this year on building that thing up, seeing if we can make it a little more healthier ecosystem for those fish. But he's interested in fish as well. It was really, really cool stuff. Well, enough promotion for my friend. Hope that works for you, Dave. He didn't know I was going to do that. I just wanted to go. I wanted to talk about him. He's a good friend of mine. Now, I tend to ramble a lot and start talking, looking at the camera, and I'm not even looking at the chat. So if someone's trying to like question things or bring up a question for us, hopefully she's looking at her phone, taking a look at that. Make sure that Katie, that you interrupt me and say this person wants to talk, because
Well,
see, I've got background as being a DJ as well. And
mine looks
dead air
different than that.
sucks. Well, you can look at yours. Look at that one. If there's something, please interrupt me, or else I'm just going to keep going. Except when I take a
No,
drink.
they're posting our video.
Anyways,
Salient posted our video.
thank you. That's awesome. Why are we always yelling? Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Mr. Sam is here and he needs a wrench.
thank you, Skull, for posting the link. We appreciate it.
The link for that. Here, let me click that on here. That
Here's the
is
link for
the link.
Ataki Homestead.
That's Dave's channel that I just went on about. I gotta get on here so I can try to find Weiwei. You're gonna be a moderator, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a managing moderator too, because I know how awesome you are at taking care of everyone else's channels as well. I'd appreciate it if you'd like to. I guess I should have asked first, but
We're just going to make you.
we're gonna put it out there. You can decide if you want to, but we would be honored if you'd be.
Yeah,
a
we would
moderator.
be honored.
Well, how far are we into this? I didn't think we'd go. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Hour and 56 minutes.
Yeah.
What else do we have on there? So much to
Um,
be done. Talk remover we did. Just looking at our we have a little marker board that we wrote up ahead of time.
We covered everything. How about everybody else wanting to come on and talk about Mondays?
Yeah. Well, I put the link out there. I'll put it one more time, I guess, if anyone wants to come back on live. But I'd like to know how your Monday went.
How are you doing now?
How'd your weekend get? And then if
Yeah,
you don't
how
wanna,
was your weekend?
if you don't
Not
want
just
to
your
come on
Monday.
live, tell us how's it been. Oh no, you know what happened? I think our camera went dead.
Did our camera go dead?
Yeah.
Oh,
Guess
no.
We're still online though. I can
No, you're frozen online.
Oh, we're still going. Just have to.
Are you sure the battery didn't go out?
If anyone can hear us, that would be cool if you tell us.
Oh, we may have lost you. Oh, no.
That's okay. Look at this. We'll do this. We'll go back to this camera. No problemo.
Okay. We good?
Yep.
Which camera
And
are we
let's
on
just
now?
make sure that our microphone's still. Well, he said he can still hear us. All right. Well, that's something to know. Battery didn't last long in that camera. And there's only one USB port, and it's used to transmit it. So now we're using the camera on the laptop. I just want to make sure our audio is hooked up the same way, which it is. So we're good that way. Who needs high def anyway?
Right. If you need to see me in high def, there's an issue.
I have issues. All right. AV, good. Good. Thanks, Sam. That's why it's good to have a backup camera, I guess. At least the knowledge.
Again,
of how
anybody
to-
want to tell us about their Monday or just want to talk in general?
How was your Monday?
How was the most Mondayest Mondays ever?
Was it today?
Not for me, because I don't have a Monday at my job.
Tomorrow's our Monday.
The most Mondayest Tuesday of all is
Yeah.
going to be tomorrow.
It's the most Mondayest Tuesday of all. That was pretty
Tomorrow.
good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday, new day.
You're gonna want that.
That's good, Salient. You said, I know there's a typo in there. Don't worry about it. Right? Went pretty good for a change. That's good. Oh, good. Guess what I see? Do you see what I see? A Skull Aquatics waiting backstage. Should we add them to the show? Yep.
I was waiting for you to say nope.
There you are, bro. Look at it. I didn't hear you because I'm having my headphones on.
Oh, I don't wear headphones, so
I know, I'm just afraid of echo. Ever since I saw like one of Father Fish's shares that he did, like the show and tell, the first one.
yeah.
It was just so echoey and bad. I just tried to negate that right away.
Yeah, I've never really had that problem, but if you really want to cheat, just get you some of these.
Yes.
They're Bluetooth,
Wireless.
so you don't even have the cords. And you can walk around the room and still hear. And I can go
This
all
is-
the way up the stairs and let the dog outside, and I can still hear the live stream.
These are Bluetooth too. And the reason I'm using the cord is because I'm using an audio interface,
The microphone, yeah.
my Tascam here. So the microphones are wireless.
You're
And
cool.
on the side, I got a jack to plug in a couple headphones at a time.
See, you're already way ahead of me on tech.
Well, it's just
I-
stuff I had laying around.
I just have a microphone.
That's a nice microphone.
And it's like $60.
Yeah.
And a webcam, because the webcams don't autofocus or anything. They are what they are.
Right. Well, the camera on the laptop, it's all right. I mean, you can see. And so then I hooked up our action cam, the DJI that we usually do videos with. And that was nice, but everything is so, I mean, even if I narrow down the field of view, it's very widescreen.
That's a panoramic.
Yeah, and the colors are what they are. But my Canon camera, which I can probably show now since I can't even. This is my point and shoot still camera that I use for regular photography. It's the Canon camera. It's got a video setting on it, and I figured out how to hook that up. It was nice because then you can really focus, and it gives you depth of field, blurs the background, whatever. And the colors look a little nicer. So I tried that tonight. But apparently, when it's hooked up USB to the computer, it doesn't charge and work at the same time. So that's why that went out. All of a sudden, I heard the shutter click. It turned off, and I'm like, "Oops, the battery's out."
Yeah, I have an adapter on my laptop that splits one USB into 4. And my camera won't work on it. It has to be plugged straight in the laptop. If I plug it in the adapter, it goes to the the laptop camera, and this one is terrible. It's all grainy.
I've noticed with even with that DJI camera and even my cell phone sometimes. Where is it? Right here. Depends on the cord. I can plug it directly into the computer, and any cord will make it charge. But only certain cords will let me download content off of it, like file transfer, or even that DJI camera, I couldn't use it for a live stream unless I used a specific cord. I just tried them all until one of them worked. So
Yeah,
keeping tabs on that cord is kind of important.
I've had trouble with that. One cord doesn't work and another one does, and
Right. I haven't figured out exactly what makes that happen, but
I don't know why they don't make a laptop that's got 4 or 5 USB ports. Mine only has
Right.
2. Mine has 2.
same here. I only have two, one on each side. And when I bring it into my office, I've got a splitter like yours that's set up, but I got it like glued to the desk so it doesn't, it's easier to plug in and out.
Yeah.
Got some,
Uh-oh.
I can just plug in and out without holding on to it, two-handing it. Yeah, they should have laptops with more than two. I don't know.
Yeah. Even we got new desktops at work, and they don't come with a CD player or nothing.
Right.
They have the same on the front. They have 2 USB ports and a headphone jack, and that's the only ports on it.
CDs are kind of getting to be a thing of the past, it seems like, on that stuff. A lot of people can just download programs directly from a website, and they don't put them out on disk anymore. And people either store stuff to a cloud, or they use USB drives, little thumb drives, or they share directly. You know, it's a lot of that stuff has changed. It makes me feel old.
What is it, like a terabyte hard drive? A big block, and you can put tons of stuff on that thing.
Yeah, I think I recently, well, probably about a year ago or so, I bought a external hard drive. I've got 3 of them now, and they're all kind of, one's the next one older than the other. The only one I really use anymore is the latest one I bought. I think it holds 4 terabytes, which, at least right now, that's mind blowing. But I can remember getting building one of my first computers when I was younger. I got it when I got my first. It was a 10 gigabyte hard drive. I was like, "Oh yeah, I got so much room now. I'm never gonna run out of space."
Yeah, I remember that.
Now I got those little micro SD cards that can hold 512, some even more. There's terabyte ones out there too. It's like, how can they?
My wife got one for her phone because she's got an iPhone, and it plugs straight into the charging port.
Right.
And it's still a little, but it's like a terabyte.
Yeah.
So she dumped all her videos, all her pictures, everything on there, and I was like, "Where the hell did you find that at?"
The only thing that worries me about that is like, what if you lose it and it's small?
Yeah. That's hers. I didn't get one. She didn't buy me one. She bought her one.
She probably knew you would probably lose it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't let me around her cameras either, so everything I do is on my phone, and she's got all kinds of digital cameras because she does baby pictures and senior pictures for people. And
yeah,
I tell her I'm going to use one of your cameras to shoot a video, and I get that eye like, no, you're not. You're not going to put your mitts on that thing. It's like, okay,
I can kind of understand. I don't know. I've been a photographer for some time, so I've had a few different cameras around. I really anal with them. Like, even when I bought the latest action cam, I had to buy like a big case that was customizable with foam and cut everything out, and
like a gun case.
Yeah, and I just
I don't mess with them. She's got them in her craft room upstairs. I sneak in there and steal stamps and tape and whatever else I can steal, but I don't go in there and mess with nothing. Because she can make T-shirts and hats, and I mean, she made this hat.
Yeah, she got like those Cricut type things that.
Oh yeah.
Or
she's got the one it'll cut leather and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But
Katie here is a big crafter. I've been trying to urge her to start a new channel. I thought Katie's Crafty Corner, and it's probably already taken. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But she can make she makes all this awesome decor and sells it at shows, sells it at her dad's bar. They line the walls with it, and the things that Katie can come up with and make is just amazing. I know that you've got a cricket or two over at your mom's house.
One cricket, one silhouette.
It'd be
Yeah.
cool to bring them over here and see what we can make with stuff. Make our own stickers, probably, or something.
Yeah, she made me these, but I bought some. But she made me these. If I can get them out.
Yeah.
But these are the ones she made, and these are the ones I bought. So
Which one? The smaller ones she made, or
yeah, she made the small ones.
nice?
But you really can't tell a difference when they're laying in front of you.
So I suppose you got to be a member to get one of those, huh?
No, you just gotta send me an email or a text. I sent you my phone number. Just send me a text. I'll send you some.
I have a thing for stickers. I like.
I have some to send out anyway already to some other people that asked me. So
I'll take that and smack it right on my guitar case. That's usually where most of my stickers go, but eventually I'll run out of
my
them.
truck.
and
We might need 2 stickers. Katie
Yeah,
will need one.
I usually send 2 or 4 or whatever. Because I've ruined one just trying to, you're trying to put it on, you get a big wrinkle in it or something. I'm like,
Yep.
I've
For
done
sure.
that.
Yep.
And usually
So
if I have other channel stickers that I've got from them, I just throw them in there with mine, and then you get those too. Who's ever they are.
That's awesome.
I've seen this kind of a trend that people put them like on their fish stand, on their tank stand, or on like the door,
hmm
inside of the door. You ever seen that? Or people do that?
I was putting them on my refrigerator, and then the refrigerator died,
Oh no.
and they were all on the door. So I took it apart outside, and I took my grinder with a cutoff wheel, and I cut the metal skin off the door, and it's hanging on the wall.
That's cool.
I
I was
think
just
I
gonna
saw
say
that
I would
before.
have taken the door right off.
Oh,
of it.
that's perfect.
I
It's
see it.
that red door.
Nice.
That used to be a refrigerator.
I would have done the same thing, man. I was just
Yeah.
thinking.
I wasn't going to
take
get
that
rid of
door
it.
off. No.
Well, and now it's just screwed to the wall. So if I want to take it with me, I can just. Whoop.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. What else we got?
What is Sammy doing?
He's promoting all of our channels.
Hey, I see that.
Katie's. You don't even have any videos out, but soon. Gonna have to.
That's all right. There's people that are involved with fish on YouTube that have almost 1,000 subscribers, have 0 videos.
That's what I don't understand that. How that works.
Well, because they're always in the chat, so people subscribe to them. So
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Okay.
I think as far as putting out content for, like, I have my personal one, we have this one together, and then Katie's. We have a hard enough time trying to
Collaborate
get
just the
videos out
fish.
regularly on this one, let alone try to do that with 3 channels. Maybe if we didn't have full-time jobs or something, we could do something like that. But
yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
why
much
it's
impossible right now.
Jimmy's always on me because I'm always telling him, man, I want to make a video about this because I'll tell him all about what I'm doing. It'll be a month later. He's like, where's that video?
Yeah. He's always on everybody.
I'm like,
Gotta love him though.
yeah, I'll get to it sometime. His new channel blew up when he started doing those funny videos. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Some
I've
of
seen
those are hilarious.
They are, and I was impressed how quick that it came up. But I'm trying to get to know him more. We got his number. I've been texting him a little bit here and there. I find the man intriguing. I'd like to get to know him more and kind of see what his past was about and stuff. To to me, it seems like what I gather from looking at his new channel that he had a channel in the past.
Yeah, he did. And he didn't get past 500. I think he was sitting at like 440 forever. And he was live streaming and doing all kinds of stuff. And just walked away from it and started up another one.
Well, he
he's a big
definitely
geek.
got past the 1,000 mark. So
Yeah, he's a big DIY guy. Likes to do
Yeah.
it on the cheap. And he has, I don't know how many records he has. He still has all the old turntables and stuff.
yeah,
He's got a
Right.
whole collection of those and stacks of old LPs.
that's awesome. I love that. I have a lot of vinyl, but not that much. I guess I probably have a 1 foot stack of 45s that I got from my parents. They're really cool stuff, just like Beatles and CCR and stuff. And then the big vinyl records I've got maybe, if you put them on end side to side, it's probably at 2.5 feet or so. But they're just older ones that have been handed down to me, and I just I really like records, man. The vinyl's cool. Something about it.
He's got another channel where he plays those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Tracks and Grooves.
Oh, I think I
Yeah,
did
I've
see
seen
that
something
on
about
his
that.
description.
Yeah, it's TRAX. That's how he spelled it. And he was right at 1,000 on that channel. I haven't looked at it for a while, but he was right there.
Yeah.
So now I'll have 2 channels over 1,000.
Pretty cool.
We'll have to go there and sub as well. He's just a very encouraging guy.
Yeah.
I saw him when he first subscribed. I noticed because just the way his name is spelled, and I didn't know how to pronounce it. I didn't know who it was, and to tell the truth, I kind of thought it was a woman because I went to his page
No
and
offense.
he's got all the thumbnails have got a woman on there, and you click on it and it's probably AI voice or something, and
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
I thought that's who it was, but when I noticed that the voice was talking about this is Jimmy's and referring to him in the third person, I'm like, well, I don't think this is a person. It's just a picture there, but meeting him in person, he's just very
Well,
encouraging.
kind of in person.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not live in person, but on
Yeah,
these chats.
There's 4 of us that we pass channels between ourselves. And I'll say it, we're all older, 50 plus. And if I see like your channel, I send your link to Jimmy, to Jeff Pelham, to MNC Aquatics. Check this out. I got another one today from MNC. He sent me one to go check out, which I haven't yet. But we do that all the time. Trying to find people that got 200 subscribers or 50 subscribers or people that are doing stuff.
Right.
Not just selling stuff, they're doing stuff.
Yeah. We'd be interested in seeing everything also if you want to send them to us.
Yeah. I sent you the link for some software too. I don't know if you ever got it.
I did. Yeah. And I checked some of it out. And then before I tried it, I just thought I'd try a new video with the same software. And like I said earlier, it's been working fine since. So I have really no idea why that one video was such a problem. And since I know that program so well, I'm just sticking with it because I know how it works.
Did I send you the photo resizer too? I think I did.
I think you did.
Because every time I take a picture with my iPhone, it's way too big, and YouTube says your picture's too big for your thumbnail.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That happens with my Canon camera too.
You just put it in that program, and you can shrink it 80%, 60%, whatever percentage you pick, and get it under that 2 megabytes.
I'd probably make it a lot quicker because I know how to do it in some of the other programs I have, but it's then again opening a new program on the computer, moving it into it, and waiting for it to open.
This
If
one's
I could
pretty
just-
easy. If you put
But
the
right
picture,
now, using my phone, it doesn't. The phone has a decent resolution, It doesn't take it so big. So if I do take the picture with this, it's fine. But usually, most of the time, our thumbnails are just derived from like screenshots from the video.
Mhm.
I scroll through until I find something that looks decent. But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying
not.
to work on thumbnails a little more.
I'm not smart enough. I should have Jimmy make my thumbnails.
He does a good job too.
Yeah, he does. You got Vibes is back.
Vibes.
Vibes, you should probably come up here so we can harass you.
Yes.
I haven't got to harass you in like a day.
You can get to the link, or should I just put the link back out again? I'll put the link back out.
I don't know if he can
I'll put
scroll
it
up.
back. It'll just be easier if I just put it right on there.
I don't know.
There's the link.
He's probably getting him some cottage cheese pizza or something.
Oh yeah.
Told him if I see him at Aqua Shell, I'm gonna have to like find somewhere I can buy it in bulk and bring him a gallon or something in a spoon.
Yep.
And I looked
Yeah,
on
from the
Amazon.
restaurant
You can
chain.
buy cottage cheese shirts, cottage cheese hats, and I thought about sending him a cottage cheese hat. Tell him you got to wear it on your live stream.
Boy loves cottage cheese.
Wow. He likes food. He's a food guy, which I can appreciate, especially if I go to Dallas. He's the guy to be hanging around with because he knows where all the barbecue places are.
Oh yeah.
We can go eat.
We're big on food too. Katie is a excellent cook. I think she learned it from her mom. She's really well at that. And even on her dad's side, who's owned like bar and grills and stuff. But
Mhm.
I swear she just makes up stuff just off the top of her head.
Yeah.
It's really good, but some people have a knack for that. I think I can cook all right, but ever since her and I have been together, I haven't made a single thing.
I do once in a while, but she pretty much evicts me out of the kitchen because I start over here and then my mess goes all the way around the kitchen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can barely step in the kitchen while she's cooking because she's just got her ways, and if I stand in the wrong spot too long, then it's getting steamrolled.
Yeah, I have the same thing goes on. I don't mess with her when she's cooking.
Well, didn't look like Vibes gonna come out. Oh, blanket. He's going to bed.
He always sits in his chair with a blanket.
Yeah, that's no excuse. I've seen him sleeping on camera one time.
I actually tried to call him to wake him up, and he didn't answer the phone.
I like this tip right here. We got a good cooking tip. See that?
Yeah.
That should have happened to me one time using the smoke alarm as an oven timer. That's when I learned when I was living on my own that my smoke alarm wasn't working. Unfortunately, I came home late from the bar, had the munchies, and grabbed one of those little Totino's pizzas, little party pizzas or whatever.
Yeah.
They taste great after you've been drinking. Well, they're not so bad. But I popped that in the oven, sat down in the chair, started watching TV, and that was
Passed
lights out. Yep. I woke up and I couldn't see more than 2 feet in front of me. The house was just filled with smoke. And I was, out of confusion. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. Like, I was scared. I'm like, there's obviously smoke. What's going on? And I remembered the pizza. I went to the oven, pulled it out. That Totino's pizza was smaller than a piece of bread. Just tiny. Just a little thing. And it was pitch black. Just
Yeah. I actually had to come home from work one day because my wife was baking cookies. She went out the front door and locked it behind her and locked herself out
Oh no.
with the oven on.
Oh no.
So she went to the neighbor's house and used their phone to call me. I had to drive 15 miles home, and I hit the garage door opener and she came inside, and yeah, the house was full of smoke. And I walked over to the back door
Oh man.
that's in my garage, and I just opened it. It wasn't even locked. So I told her, if you'd have just went around through the gate, you could have walked right in the house.
Oh no.
It's like, well, I'm headed back to work. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Make sure there's a new batch of cookies when I get home.
Oh, they were black. They were
Oh, I'm
crunchy.
sure.
So since then, I put the digital door locks on.
Yeah.
Put the
That's a
keypad
good
on the
idea.
garage door so she can get in as long as she remembers the code.
Definitely a good idea.
Yeah, they're kind of expensive, but they're worth it.
Right. So Sam, my tip to you is you can use that smoke alarm as an oven timer. Just make sure to check your batteries first.
Yeah, I've been harassing Jeff Pelham for a long time because if you listen to his streams, you can hear his smoke alarm go off. But his living room upstairs has the vaulted ceiling that's like 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
And that's where the smoke alarm is. It's clear at the very top. So you got to have this giant ladder to even get up there. I told him, well, eventually it'll all just completely die and it'll quit making noise.
Right. Yeah, we've got one right now that it seems like even if we are boiling a bunch of water or some kind of hot steam for some reason, it will set it
Go off.
off. I think I might have taken that one down. But some of them are really finicky like that and just,
Yep. You walk by with a candle and they'll go off.
yep.
But hey, there's M&C. Come on up here, dude. He sent me a really cool picture of somebody made a table that's all skulls and the chairs are skulls.
Cool.
It's probably way out of my wallet, but
Might be.
yeah, I forgot about that, Sammy. Mariah, that's on with Vibes on Thursdays. Smokey. Have you seen her? She,
Yeah, I think
she
on
had-
Vibes.
she had hers going off during live streams, and everybody in the chat was like, stop it, stop it. So she left the stream and went and pulled all the batteries out of them.
I had one place I lived at. It was kind of an apartment type place, and the lady I was with at the time, she was gone out of town, so it was just me, and I got woken up in the middle of the night by a smoke alarm, and you know how fun that is, and you're trying to find out which one is going off because there was a smoke alarm in like every room of this
Every room.
place.
Yeah.
We had like 3 bedrooms, the living room, the downstairs. It was one in every room. And so I'm trying to find it. And before I can find out which one, and I'm groggy. I just had woken up. It shuts off. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So then I go back to bed. I'm like, whatever. I'm tired. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm just about ready to go to sleep. And it goes off again. And I get up, the same thing. I take like 3 or 4 steps and it shuts off.
Nice.
And what is going on? And I'm trying to like walk around, look at them all, and I'm half out of it, but it's woken me up twice, so I'm going to find out, you know. And while I'm looking for it, they're all going off again, and I'm starting to realize they're all going off. And it shut off and did that like 4 times. I went outside, started walking around and yelling like, who's messing with me? Getting mad. And ended up like, I think I ended up calling the police station or something. I said, I was adamant. I thought someone was messing with like the apartment's
Fire system.
smoke alarms or something, you know, just messing with me because it would, I swear, as soon as I'd stop looking, it turned back on. So I thought somebody was like watching me through the window doing that. And come to find out, after I talked to the police officer, he said, are they individual ones or are they all wired together? I'm like, I don't know. Let me take one down. I pull it down and it's hardwired.
Yeah.
I said, I guess it's hardwired all together. And he's like, each of those have a battery backup. If one battery starts going dead, they'll all go off.
Yeah.
And it will act like that. It will just kind of come on and off randomly. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And he starts giggling, laughing at me. I'm like, well, I guess I'm pulling all the batteries and testing them. Thanks for the advice. But that was probably the worst experience I had with smoke detectors.
Vibe says he can come up in 25 minutes. You taking your annual shower or what?
Ooh.
Oof. I don't know if we're going to be on for that long. Kind of pushing it.
Might be a little late for us. I was kind of thinking we kind of pushed it
gotta
past our
work
time
tomorrow.
anyways.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Monday nights are kind of rough because there's a lot of big channels that stream on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steam Thought's on, and right now the Garden of Eater, the shrimp people are on.
I saw that on the schedule.
Yeah.
I decided to do this, and then I checked Fish Fam. I'm like, oh, wow, there's like 3 people coming
looked
on
at Fish
6.
Fam and I looked at Fish Fam and it doesn't show you on.
Probably not. 'Cause I did a request. I don't know if it just automatically picks it up, but I didn't do a request for like a schedule update until about 6 o'clock, a half hour before we were going live. So I don't know if
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not quite sure how it works yet.
A lot of times when you're just popping up like this, they don't put you on the schedule. They just mainly have the regulars.
Gotcha.
It's like right now,
Well,
Fishy
worked
Business
out.
Live too.
I noticed a lot. I was looking at some of the analytics and saw that, some of our outside source views or whatever were coming from Fish Fan, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Never
It's
saw
totally
that
awesome.
before.
I've never
Not kind
figured.
of cool, but totally awesome.
Well, I say kind of cool, but I mean totally awesome.
I've never figured it out because I can go look at mine and it says so many percent are from Asia and so many percent are from Europe or somewhere. Like, how the heck did they even find me?
Right?
And some of them leave comments too.
Yeah. Gets pushed out there.
Then I have people all the time saying, "How many subs do you have?" And it's like, I don't know. Go look. I have no idea. I don't look. I don't care. I'm not trying to get monetized. I have a job. This is just
Yeah.
fun for me. I like just coming up and like talking to you two and talking to Jimmy and Vibes. It's my fun. It's my friends.
Ours too.
Same
Yeah.
for us, but I'm kind of can I say anal retentive on YouTube? Who cares? I said it.
You
Um,
did. So what the hell does it matter?
I start looking at the analytics, and then it's just like to me. I get caught up in numbers or whatever, and But if I never get monetized, I'd still be doing it. Because like I've said in other live streams or maybe in my other videos, I like doing what we're doing. If I don't make videos, we'd be doing this. But I'm a photographer. I like doing photography videos and stuff. I like playing with editing videos, and that's the only reason why I even started my other channel is because of for me, it's fun doing the editing. So I like doing that. If I can make a little money at it, that'd be cool. But I know that even once you're monetized, it's going to be a small amount. Will it ever go viral? I guess
And they don't.
that all depends on so many other factors that are out of my control. I'm never striving to be that viral, hit the logarithm kind of BS. To me, you can go insane pulling your hair out trying to figure out how that can work. I mean, there's whole channels out there that are devoted to giving advice on how to become rich on YouTube by being monetized. And that's how they make a living, is selling people that baloney. I guess if it happens, it happens. If I could make money just doing videos, that'd be cool. But
I think the
We
hardest
just
part,
enjoy what we do.
the hardest parts will be the hours, because you guys can get to 500, which you can then get super chats and super stickers,
right.
but you got to have 3,000 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard
Yep.
part.
We're over halfway there to get the subscribers, but it seems so weird that I can look at my hours minus the shorts, and it seems a lot higher than what Google or YouTube is saying is what our. And I know they're slow on updating, but the getting the watch hours, yeah, I think is going to be more tough than getting subscribers. I like trying to figure that out, though. I don't know why it is. If it's just like a goal to see if I can do it, but it's not. I guess it's not a life goal for me to try to make that happen. Because to me, if we're doing a good enough job and people want to watch it, it will naturally happen. I don't want to fret my life away of whether or not I'm doing everything perfect, because it's
Just have fun.
it takes the fun out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, just have fun with it. That's what I do. I think Wednesday night I'll be on with Jeff Pelham, and who knows what guest he's going to have on. Vibes does that to me every Saturday. He tells me sometimes on Saturday who the guest is that night, and then I'm like, who?
Nice.
Because last Saturday you were on? Was it?
Yeah. On
Or
Vibes?
two
It
Saturdays.
was 2 Saturdays ago. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
all he
2
sent me was your initials, HHD, and I'm looking at my phone like, who? And then he said Hagen Hill Design, and I was like, oh, I know them.
Well, we exchanged email and text, numbers, and he asked, well, do you have a logo or a picture of a favorite fish or something that I can post on there? I said, well, I can give you our logo. So I sent him the logo that we made, and he used that to kind of promote it. I said, you can use this to promote if you'd like.
I've met some pretty cool people that he meets them on Instagram or wherever he meets them that I've never heard of, and then all of a sudden I'm in a discussion with them, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. I really like this kind of thing, because the older I get, I guess the more hermit-like I get. I don't care about going out to places and meet people, and I guess I kind of stick to going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home.
Yeah.
And this
I
is
mean,
kind of igniting a new thing for me.
yeah.
I forget what it's like to meet new people and to get to know people, and I really like this as kind of a new thing starting over.
And I've made some connections, like Ryan from Wild Fish Tanks. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's got an online store, and he had a pretty big YouTube channel, but he doesn't post very often anymore. But we were talking backstage about fish, and next thing I knew, he's got like 4 species that I want, and I have 4 or 5 that he wants. It's like, all right, let's make a deal.
For sure.
Switch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I wasn't on Vibes' stream that night, I wouldn't have got a chance to talk to him.
Right.
Yeah, we
Oh.
treasure every time we're on somebody's live or anything like that, or anything we're on our own live, and you guys are like, "Hey, check this out, check that out." I think
Yeah.
it's pretty
Mhm.
awesome.
Well, I hate to say it. I think we're going to have to bring this one to a close, because,
We both have to work early.
yeah, I could stay up all night really and do this, but I
So
know
could
how
I.
I'm going to feel.
I do it all the time, and then I got to leave here at 7 in the morning. I'm like, what did I do that for?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get.
We appreciate
That way,
all
but-
the viewers and all of the live streamers that came in with us tonight. And
This was a lot of fun.
yeah,
I think this
It was
one turned
awesome.
out better than our last one. And Curtis, I'm glad that you came on right away.
sorry, Vibes, you aren't going to make it.
Well,
Vibes didn't make the cut this time. And MC Aquatics, very selective. That's fine. Hopefully
Oh.
we can.
he's going to be on Jeff's stream Wednesday night too.
Yeah,
That
we'll
might
come
be
check
interesting.
out. We'll check out his stream then,
Yeah, definitely.
and then and see if you
Love
want
to watch other live streams.
If we can ever get you to be on, that'd be an honor. Seriously, I mean, everybody that we have on here, we're
Yeah.
happy to. I
We
try to
love
open
you
it up,
guys
but
to
it
come on
was
with
just
us.
to get people to interact because
Yeah.
we're not a big time anything, and it's
It's very
just
hard
cool to
to
have somebody.
live stream by yourself. It's a lot
Right.
easier. It's a lot easier when you can talk to somebody.
Right.
For sure.
And we thank you, Skull, for coming on tonight and talking with us.
It's no problem. Send me a message when you're going to jump up like this so that I can try to be here.
I think
Well,
we're gonna try to plan it out a little more
That was Jake's fault.
further in advance, more than
Yeah.
a few hours, maybe a few days in advance, and well, I'll send you a text about it. And for everyone else, keep watching our channel. I finally learned how to show and schedule live streams, so it should pop up whenever you're on YouTube. And what else can we really say?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Thanks a lot.
Sleep tight.
everybody.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.